Welcome back everyone to another episode of Comics in Brief, the weekly news and review show. My name is Yule. Let's check out some comics. First up this week in big Marvel news. It was announced earlier by the company that the Fantastic Four are going to make a return. It is going to be in August, and the writer is going to be Dan Slott with art by Sarah Pichelli. Excellent illustrator, and I'm really looking forward to the series. It's been a few years since Marvel has published the Fantastic Four, although we've seen the Thing in Guardians of the Galaxy and Johnny Storm the Human Torch in the Inhumans. We're going to finally get the family back together in August. Let's get on to comic reviews. First up, we have Avengers number 686. This is part 12 of No Surrender. We've been talking about it endlessly on previous episodes. I recommend you check those out for previous reviews. This one is part 12, and it has finally started to pick up. With the last issue and this one, Hulk has been promised to come out of the ground, and he finally has, and he's been ripping it up. He's taken it to the Avengers, and in this issue he really causes havoc on the game that they've been involved in. The one thing that's been consistent with this series from the very beginning is that the illustrations have been excellent throughout. If you like good art and are finally getting the Hulk action you've been desiring, then this is definitely the series for you. Next up, we have Daredevil number 600. This is the last part of the Mayor Fist storyline. I've been recommending it since it started, and this last issue is no different. In this issue, we get the fight between Blind Spot and Muse. I wasn't actually reading Daredevil when Muse was first introduced, but it seems that he plucked out the eyeballs of Blind Spot. He's since got new ones. That was another story. That one was good too. And now they're fighting because they have a problem with each other. Meanwhile, Daredevil is getting a whole bunch of his superhero friends together, and they're staking out a crime meeting that they're expecting the Kingpin to attend. Let me tell you, it was a trap. So by the end of this story, you think everything is going well for the Kingpin, but I'm going to let you know right now, that ain't the case. I don't want to tell you everything that happens, but there is a lot that I am not telling you. You should pick this one up right now. It's an excellent issue. Next up, the long-awaited Doomsday Clock number 4 is here, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. The artwork by Gary Frank, as always, is scintillating, but the real star in this issue is Jeff Johns' portrayal of Rorschach. We finally get to know everything about who he is and what he's gone through. It seems he is the son of the Shrink. They got to examine Rorschach back in the original Watchmen series. This issue doesn't really drive the plot of the story forward too far, as it is examination of the character of who Rorschach is, but the writing is excellent and it's definitely atmospheric. I highly recommend you pick this issue if you haven't already. You should pick up the whole series if you haven't already. Next up, we have Hit Girl number 2. This is part of the Kick-Ass universe, and for those of you that don't know this character, she was raised by her father to be a person who takes out the bad guys. This time, Hit Girl has taken her brand of violence to Colombia, where she has broken out of prison a very feared drug lord, and she has convinced him to join her crusade. The thing I like most about this story, other than the action, there's a lot of guns. I'm not a big fan of that all the time, but they're ridiculous, and the way they are utilized is actually fun, and the art is excellent also. If you are a fan of very violent, sadistic children killing people, this is definitely the book for you. Continuing the theme of violent comics, we have Silencer number 3. J.R. Jr.'s art is excellent in this one, as our main character is being confronted to join up with the bad guys, and she said no, so there's a big old fight. This whole issue is full of action. It is fast, it is furious, and it is explosive. I highly recommend you pick this one up. It's probably my favorite issue of the bunch, if only just for the action, as I've said once before. Next up, we have Terrifics number 2. This is part of the New Age of Heroes, and I highly recommend this issue. I love Jeff Lemire's writing, and Ivan Reis is a very good illustrator. This story is basically just a continuation from the one before. The Terrifics were in a very life-threatening situation. Spoilers, they get out of it. And as they're trying to get out of it, Mr. Terrific is trying to leave them all behind, and you find out that this is a big deal. They can't separate from each other. And also, they're not really fond of each other, it seems. In fact, there is actually a moment where Metamorpho and Plastic Man, who were kind of bickering with each other in the first issue, kind of have a problem with Mr. Terrific. And that was kind of a cool scene. So I recommend you pick this book up. I enjoy it, and I think you will too. As always, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into another episode. Please remember that these reviews are Yule's reviews. If you have any comments that you'd like to let me know about those reviews, or what you thought of these comics, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and like this video if you do. We're also going to have a signing with superstar artist Kenneth Rocafort of Sideways fame. Number 3 should be out that day, April 11th from 2:30 to 4:30. And don't forget to check in next week for another episode of Comics in Brief.